You know, the new Volkswagen Amarok brings to mind, for me at least, the Hemsworth brothers. The Ford Ranger is like Chris, the global movie superstar, while the Amarok, well, that's more like Liam, young and glamorous. And as for Luke, well, he's more like the Mazda BT-50, the previous generation, that started this whole medium-sized thing 50 years ago as the Mazda Bravo, but I digress. Yet, as we'll find out, there's more of an Aussie connection to the new Amarok than my tortured analogy. My name's Byron Mathioudakis for CarsGuide.com.au, and I'm here to find out whether the new Volkswagen Ute has got what it takes to take on A-listers like the Toyota Hilux, Isuzu D-Max, and of course the Ranger. Cue the B-roll.
Today's least expensive Amarok essentially starts from $52,990 for the core 4x4 with a 6-speed auto, powered by a 2-litre 4-cylinder turbo diesel dubbed TDI 405. Yep, all models are 4-wheel drive for now. If you're quick, you can save $2,000 and nab a manual version, but Volkswagen has already decided to drop that from Australia due to insufficient demand. The core might be the workhorse version with vinyl floors, but you still get LED headlights, a digital dash, a 10-inch portrait touchscreen with reverse camera, adaptive cruise control, and 17-inch alloys. Next up is the Life from $56,990 that switches up to the more powerful TDI 500 twin-turbo diesel. It also includes fancier trim, more equipment, and improved driver assist safety, while the anticipated best-selling Amarok, the Style from $66,990, adds 18-inch alloys, matrix LED headlights, powered and heated front seats, a 12-inch touchscreen, a rear sports bar, and much more. This is also the cheapest Amarok with a 3-litre V6 turbo diesel option, costing another $4,000. Branded TDI 600, this larger engine also drives the $75,990 Panamericana, which is the more rugged off-road biased Amarok in the Ranger Wildtrak mould, ushering in leather, premium audio and other luxuries. It's so spicy we call the Panamericana the Pene Matriciana of dual cab utes. Uniquely for this size of pickup, if diesel's not your thing, then try the range-topping Aventura. Known as the TS452 and kicking off from $79,990, it actually boasts a variation of the Ford Mustang EcoBoost's 2.3-litre 4-cylinder turbo-petrol engine as an alternative to the torquey TDI 600 diesel. Among other goodies, it adds 21-inch wheels, even plusher leather, extra chrome, and a powered tub cover. Even Ford doesn't sell Aussies a pony car powered ute.
As many of you know by now, the new Amarok is based on the latest Ranger, but there's been a hell of a lot of changes done to the design in order to differentiate the two cars. Volkswagen's goal was to make this car a little bit more SUV-like, a little bit more rugged and masculine without being too aggressive, and I think they've succeeded. Some of the details worth pointing out include the headlight design with this ridge here, which is going to become a standard for future Volkswagen commercial vehicles apparently. The bonnet is now fluted, so the driver can see more of the front and the road ahead, which is really handy when they're off-roading, while the general proportions are a little bit broader with a longer wheelbase, wider tracks, and a larger overall shape, which helps in Volkswagen's desire to have a ute with more presence. That's also reflected in the squared out wheel arches, which connect with the original Amarok. But one thing that the latest Amarok doesn't have, which the Ranger has, is a step here, which Volkswagen reckons was thought about but was rejected because basically people can still jump on the rear by using the wheels. But what's really surprising about the new Amarok is how different it looks compared to the Ranger. These C-shaped LED lights, and they're all LEDs in Amaroks by the way, give the car a distinctive look. And you know, given that there's so much collaboration and shared components between the two vehicles, the fact that this stands out as distinctly Amarok, I think, is an achievement in itself.
The Amarok's growth spurt results in a roomy interior as well as a better one. There's more space than ever in every direction, backed up by commanding views out, a brilliant driving position and easy reach of everything. Then there are the front seats, which are snug yet supportive in these mid-grade levels at least, providing hours of comfort. They're really top notch. Storage is ample with 2 glove boxes in these up-spec models, while there's space to stretch out back compared to the previous version. From a packaging and practicality point of view, the Amarok scores strongly.
Righto, with all that said and done, does the new Amarok rise to the top of its class? Well, sitting inside, I've got to say that the interior ambience and quality are first class. I love the feel of the rocker switches down below the large portrait style screen. There's a Golf-like connection to the digital instrumentation, which is variable, so you can switch it around, and I like that because not all of the Utes in this class have differentiation with the screens. And basically, it's quiet and hushed in here, like you're wearing earmuffs, and that to me shows that Volkswagen has succeeded in making this car refined and sophisticated. Okay, as far as cons are concerned, there are a few things I don't like. Starting with the fiddly multimedia screen, it just doesn't have enough physical buttons, so you can't change things on the go without losing concentration and taking your eyes off the road. That's no good. I don't like the fact that there are no paddle shifters. You've got to rely on the quite fiddly and non-intuitive auto shifters rocker switches, and I don't know, they just don't feel natural. Give us a Tiptronic style shifter anytime, I say. Unlike the Ranger, there aren't cup holders at either end of the dashboard, so you can't keep your drinks cool or warm as you can in a lot of rival cars. And there's also no auxiliary switch blanks for accessories like you get in higher model ranges like the Wildtrak and Raptor for that matter. But overall, this interior has an elegance and a harmony that really is second to none.
Brake towing capacity continues to be rated at 3,500 kilograms, tub volume rises slightly, gross vehicle mass and payload are up, there's more ground clearance, overhangs are shorter front and rear, there are 6 cargo lashing rings rated at 400 kilograms each, the tailgate has lift assist closing but not opening like Ranger, and you can still fit a Euro pallet between the wheel arches.
In this latest Amarok, Ford-derived engines abound, but the Volkswagen has a couple of aces up its sleeve.
For starters, you're not limited to just diesel, and if you're quick, there's even a manual gearbox on offer. That's for the 125 kilowatt core only, a base model that uses a single turbo 2-litre diesel in either 6-speed manual or 6-speed auto choices. Next up is the 154 kilowatt 2-litre bi-turbo version dubbed TDI 500, making 500 Nm of torque and offered solely with a 10-speed auto. This powers the life and style. The Amarok style ushers in the 184 kilowatt 3-litre V6 turbo diesel that Volkswagen calls the TDI 600 for 600 Nm of torque. Also powering the Panamericana and Adventura, it too is paired to a 10-speed auto. Additionally, there's 4-motion permanent 4-wheel drive, rather than the 2-litre diesel's selectable part-time 4-wheel drive system that just offers 4x2 2-wheel drive, 4x4 low range and 4x4 high range choices. Instead, 4-motion permanent 4-wheel drive varies drive to the front or rear wheels as needed, and features 6 driving modes. There's normal, eco, tow/haul and slippery for on-road driving, and mud/rut and snow/sand for use off-road. Each alters engine throttle, transmission, braking, traction and stability controls as required. Finally, there's the Amarok exclusive 222 kilowatt 2.3 litre 4-cylinder turbo-petrol engine known as TSI 452 for its 452 Nm of torque. Another 10-speed auto proposition with 4-motion permanent 4-wheel drive, it is rare to offer petrol power amongst medium-sized dual-cab Utes. The Amarok petrol will tax your wallet more than the torquey diesels when it comes to refueling. The petrol's official combined fuel consumption figure is 9.9 litres per 100 kilometres, compared to 8.4 for the V6 diesel, 8 for the 2-litre bi-turbo and 7.2 for the 2-litre single turbo. If economy is your priority, stick with the diesels.
Okay, now the moment of truth. Let's go for a drive in the Ranger. Oh my God, I said Ranger. Righto, now the moment of truth. Let's take the Amarok for its first drive on Australian public roads. The happy news is the Amarok is as easy and effortless to drive as before. So even though it's larger and more rugged, it certainly isn't like a truck. The steering is light and progressive. It's easy to park, particularly around town, and it's a cinch to maneuver. And at speed, there's a sense of confidence and control that you get in no other truck other really than the Ranger. So that's another plus point. As far as engines are concerned, we've driven the bi-turbo in the style, and the bi-turbo diesel is certainly strong enough. There's punchy acceleration. There's certainly enough in the reserve for easy overtaking, and it's quite refined for a diesel. But of course that pales in comparison to the V6, which is altogether gutsier. It's stronger, it sounds better, it's more on brand with what Volkswagen is trying to achieve with a premium pickup truck. As far as the 2.3 litre turbo petrol engine is concerned, I've got to say I'm a little bit disappointed. Yes, it's powerful. In fact, it's apparently the most powerful truck you can buy with 3.5 tonne towing capacity, and there's no lack of speed or acceleration. It's point and shoot. But the engine has to work hard, and when it does, it sounds gruff. Like, it just doesn't have the smoothness or refinement. It's kind of like the opposite to what the V6 diesel is. So my choice would be the V6 turbo diesel. It just suits this car down to the ground. The ride comfort is exceptional in most models. The standard 18, it rides beautifully. There's not much pitching, and it's very comfortable. In the top line 21-inch shod Aventura, it's just a little bit abrupt. The suspension feels a little bit too firm. You're always aware that it's rumbling along on the road. It's a lot of rumbling. It isn't quite as sophisticated as it looks. I mean, those wheels look great, but yeah. But overall, the car shows that it's been tuned in Australia, because it's fairly quiet and quite laid back, yet has got the muscle you need when you want it to. So I'm impressed with the way the Amarok drives. Well done, Volkswagen.
The Amarok has achieved a 5-star ANCAP crash test safety rating. Helping this result are a broad array of standard driver assist safety systems, items the previous model duly lacked. The Amarok scored especially well for child protection and rated strongly shielding adults as well. A rarity amongst dual cab Utes is a front centre airbag, just like the Ranger offers. The Amarok offers a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty, which is about average for its class. Where the Volkswagen stands out is in its affordable basic scheduled service pricing that even undercuts the Rangers as well as the best-selling Hiluxes. Volkswagen says buyers have a choice of 5 individual services as per the Amarok's 12-month or 15,000 kilometre intervals, with prices set from $329 each for the first 2, $414 for the third, $329 for the fourth, and $400 for the fifth.
The original Amarok changed the Ute. Since its 2010 launch, it remained at the top of its class in terms of car-like refinement and sophistication. The only thing it really lacked was sufficient driver assist safety, and it started to look quite dated. These are two things that the Ranger connection address. But it's worth keeping in mind that the Ranger's V6 engine, full Euro pallet carrying capability, and permanent all-wheel drive system owe something to Volkswagen, because that's what Amarok brought to the party. It's a true collaboration, and it really shows in this car. But where the Amarok stands out is in its convincing premium presentation. And by that I mean its upmarket interior, its quiet refinement, and the fact that it's so easy and appealing to drive and look at. But that doesn't mean the Volkswagen's perfect. It's quite expensive for what you get, and it isn't quite as involving to drive as the dynamic Ranger. I guess it comes down to priorities and tastes. While the Ranger is more like a Chris Hemsworth in that it's tough and rugged and dynamic, the Amarok has that sophistication and pretty good looks that make it a Liam Hemsworth of the medium ute class. And here's my score on the screen right now. As always, thanks for watching, and don't forget you can read my full review at carsguide.com.au. I'm getting out of this rain.